Ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful day today here in Texas, and we just found the new body style 100th anniversary Prevost Emerald coach. Today we're here with John Walker, president of Emerald Luxury Coaches. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, Andrew. How are you?
Excellent. It's always an honor to see the latest and greatest here at Emerald Luxury Coaches, and you and the team have been busy on this new body style Prevost.
Yeah, excited to show you this new P96 Quad Slide H Emerald, and so thanks for coming to Texas.
Yeah, when we heard you had the new 100th anniversary new body style Emerald, it was definitely worth a trip here. I've been a fan of Emerald Luxury Coaches for a long time, and a lot of folks out there know about your history with Outlaw conversions. You've got over 28 years in the RV industry, and I think about 20 years of converting Prevost buses now?
Yes, sir. We've converted an XL2, and 2004 was our first Prevost coach.
Yes, sir. So what is going on with this particular coach?
Man, just this year, really on the quads, trying to take them over the top, different paint schemes, just doing things different. A great interior, and clients taking delivery of this coach next week, so we wanted to get it on video, so we're pretty excited to show you this coach.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity, and I'm also noticing these blacked out wheels here with a carbon fiber center cap. The American Racing Series wheels really set this coach off nice, and then there's a lot of cool stuff going on in the paint here. We've got a slight fade here with a heavy metallic flake going from a brighter blue to more of an aqua into a fully black metallic paint, and then you can see a pattern in here. You guys have been stepping up your paint designs at Emerald, yeah. It looks like.
We're trying to.
So was there an inspiration for this paint design, or what's going on?
Not really. I think we're just looking for something different. We need some pop. When you're in a resort and you're driving through, you definitely know it's an Emerald sitting there.
Well, with the body lines that you did here, this coach commands a lot of attention, and on the older body style Prevost, the Emeralds always had a very cool style, the way your front and rear caps tied in with the awnings, always been a cutting edge design. But what have you done here on the new 9660 shell?
Well, as you know, the new P96, they changed the front end on this thing. And
yes, sir.
Prevost really, went all out, made massive changes to this. Very aerodynamic, has the new headlights on it, has the three-piece bumper on it. We tied in the roof cowling, really following the body line of the P96 as much as we could to just continue that on into the roof line. It's really raked back, totally different look, but then tying in with the awning, so we're really excited about this.
Yes, sir, and that more aggressive paint job comes through the front end of the coach, and then those new headlights on the new body style really command attention. Now, this also has the regular mirrors and the e-mirrors as well?
Yes, sir. Right now, all the coaches are coming with e-mirrors from the factory, so that's on every coach, but we still have the regular mirrors on it.
I like having both options, and I think a lot of the owners that I've heard feedback from really appreciate, especially at nighttime, those e-mirrors. The visibility is tremendously better than an old style regular mirror.
Unbelievable. At night, if it's foggy or raining, you're getting a lot better view, and it's just safer for you all the way around. When they first came out, I was like everybody else, a little bit leery, like, how's this going to work? But after using them and being them, couldn't go without it.
Yes, sir. Well, let's come around to the door side here, where notice the new 100th edition badging on the H345, and then of course your Airphone doorbell. You do have the doorbell camera system in this coach.
The doorbell camera system in the bedroom to the entry door, and then all the coaches this year will be built with the 100th edition on the coach badging from Prevost.
Yeah, so what's going on in the bays here, sir?
Yeah, let me show you, Andrew. We'll go to bay 1 here. So our bay 1, we're leaving it completely open all the way through for the client. We're not trying to take up any space. They want all this real estate, so we're giving them everything we can. USB 110 slide out tray. We got our tray built full body in here, so you get the full extension.
Yeah, and I like it being a manual tray. We've talked about that before. Less stuff that can break, and I know Emerald's really stepped up the game with the new body style, but is that still your philosophy?
It is. When we first did our first video a long time ago.
Over 4 years ago, yes, sir.
4 years ago. So our mission was to make a simpler, when I say simple, easy to use, functional, easy to service, try to keep the problems down as much as we could for our clients so that they're enjoying their time. So we're still on that mission. This coach has changed over the years since the first time we met. So we're definitely on that mission for a simpler, easier to use, and more enjoyable coach.
I know you've been on a mission to make the best coach. You actually called me recently and just said, what can we do better here at Emerald? You were just trying to pick my brain to get any ideas to try to push you even harder.
Absolutely, I think that's the thing. At Emerald, we're looking every day, how do we improve? We have a great team there, and they're about improvement. One of the hardest things to do, I think, in manufacturing today is to build a team and a team environment environment. Building the right team to build this product is the mission we've been on, especially since COVID. That's really changed. We're very excited. We've got some new people, new staff. Things are changing at Emerald, and it's evolving every day. As you can see, the product's evolving, our production is evolving, so it's great, and we're glad to show you.
Yes, sir. I'm still seeing some of that same Emerald styling like we've seen before with these cool lights that have circles machined in them, or what's going on there?
So it's our stainless bezels. This one we blacked out, so they're usually stainless, you see, but these are stainless specific to Emerald. We have a company that specially builds those for us, and then so, you know, keeping that look, people like the down lighting at night on their site, so that's what we try to do.
Yes, sir. Bay 2, again, another manual slide tray, just less stuff that would break. Now, do you ever put the electronic slide trays in coaches, or is it always manual?
No, we offered, our slide trays can take electronics, the electric motors as well. We do the manual if, you know, we're picking it, but if we have clients that want the electric, we do that. So we have a lot of requests for, you know, chairs and tables. So we added a table here and we integrated it to protect our TV, so that we can save down on cabinet space, trying to give as much storage as we can. We've remanufactured all of our electrical cabinets that have our electrical components, and we've cut all those down and we've made them shallower against the wall. So everything is a tighter fit. Everything is engineered specific to save space. So, I mean, as you know, Andrew, these two bays are super critical. You talk about them a lot. They're on your mind a lot. People talk about them. So we have put a ton of focus in these to give them as much as they can. And what I think is cool about Emerald is these bays are interchangeable. Some of these guys know as much about coaches as we do or more. Yeah. Sometimes they have ideals. We had a customer show his bikes hanging in a bay.
Yes, sir.
You know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we try to leave this open and think about them. There's some things we could definitely load these bays up with, but you know, I don't think that's always best because a lot of these guys have their own ideals and they all use the coach a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is kind of a standard Emerald.
This is a standard kind of package, you know, if we're building it. This is our 65-inch Samsung TV, and then we have a sound bar in there too that's tied into this TV. And so you can adjust this TV, set it up however you want to.
Swivel it to keep the glare from the sun out.
Yeah, and then you can lock it back in place if you want to push it against the coach so you're not walking around it and stuff.
Nice, and you've been using this type of technology for some time now.
We have, yeah, we beef things up, change some things, try to keep it as simple as possible.
These doors are closing more sideways. Some of the doors we see open up. What is the reasoning for these doors opening that way?
So this is a quad slide. So when you order the quad slide, 4-level slide from Prevost, then that's how you will order these doors from Prevost, and that's how they'll install them to make it work when this slide is out, so you can get into the bays with the slide out.
Yes, sir. And coming into this bay, this is something I get excited about. Looks like some serious power going on. And when we had this coach out in the parking lot earlier, there's a couple AC units running with no generator running. Is this a lithium system, and will this power the ACs?
Sure. So this is a lithium system. It's two 5,000 watt inverters. We run our AC1 and AC4, which is in the stateroom. We run that off the inverters. So you can run, you know, going down the road off the alternators, you can run those two air conditioners as well.
And then will those batteries recharge off of the alternator while you're going down the road?
Yes, sir. It recharges extremely fast, especially with the lithium battery. So you can run it down the road. It will recharge. If you're not running air conditioners, it really keeps things charged up, you know, easily.
And then can you also run the generator to recharge the batteries as well?
You can run it on auto gen, and you can run the generator if you want to recharge. It recharges as long as you're hooked up to power cord, the generator, or the chassis running. So you got three options.
And if the chassis is running at idle, will there be enough power just running at idle to charge these?
Yes, sir. The way we've programmed the system, basically those alternators are coming on and off and working whether you're at idle or running down the highway. So you're getting, you know, they change, but go up and down with speed, but you can do it both.
A lot of redundancy built in there to make sure you can charge your batteries up.
A lot of redundancy, Andrew. We've got bypasses on everything. So if we lose an inverter, you can bypass the inverter, keep the customer working till we can get him to a service center, but he doesn't have to shut down. You lose the auto transfer switch. That's a mechanical part. Those can break. You can just switch over, and then the customer can keep running until we get there. We don't have to come to him right away. So we have a lot of redundancy on this, and we have removed a ton of cable and really simplified this as much as possible. Really looking at a lot of stuff we just don't need, stuff that breaks. What could we get rid of? Simple. This is really a simple own. The system is own. are off. The system is off. It's all programmed. You don't have to do anything to it. So you can change your power in. If you're at a resort that doesn't have good power, and that happens to us a lot, the customer can adjust his power up and down so we can get him through that wherever he's parked at or wherever he's staying overnight that might not have good sufficient power if he didn't want to run the generator. So we've got some of those things in there, but other than that, it's pretty automatic system.
And I know there's some serious cost that goes into these lithium systems, and you said this coach is sold and spoken for, but is this an option or is this something that Emerald does standard?
If you buy an Emerald, this is standard on the Emerald today, so we go with the lithium every time. We've been doing lithium quite a while now, so we've definitely learned, and we see it changing. The batteries have already gotten smaller and lighter as we've been doing it, so there's a big change in this market, and it evolves very quickly. When you sit back and look and go, wow, that's what we were doing 2 years ago. It's really changed. We were talking about that today, how things have changed in 4 years, and it's kind of crazy.
Oh, it doesn't stop. Yeah, you're always trying to improve, and I'm one of those guys that battled lithium batteries. I used to say, well, I could buy a lot of diesel fuel for a generator instead of a complex system like this, but I had a Sprinter van that had a smaller lithium battery system on it, and being able to run that AC with no noise pollution, no generator running, no fumes, it was just nice and quiet.
Yes.
The way that this bus was, a full Prevost bus running the ACs, usually you're gonna have a generator going, creating a lot of noise. It's a game changer for sure.
Game changer. Everything's quieter, lighter, easier. Once you get used to running it, it's hard to go back to the old AGM way, if you will. That keeps your Starlink running, that keeps your TVs running, everything that we're running through the inverters, all your high-tech equipment running through there. Now, we can add more batteries to this. This is set up so we can add more batteries as we go. We give you more amp hours as we go. So it just depends on what you want. We have customers that it's not that big a deal to them, so we didn't want to charge them those costs if it wasn't that big a deal, right? Keeping it simple, keeping it a good value coach. But if you do want the amp hours and you want to add more to it, you can keep stacking on our system. It's already pre-plumbed and ready for that. That's how we've designed it, because we see different customers that want different things, and we don't want to appeal to everybody, but we definitely want to make it easier for a customer to buy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely a big debate on whether people want to spend the money on that extra system. Some people either love it or they just haven't learned about it yet, and they're going to love it when they learn more about it.
Exactly. So it's a good start. I've had a lot of guys that started with this smaller pack, and now we're building them a second coach, and they're doubling the pack. So they learned, and it's like anything else. When it's new, people are leery, and it takes some time. There's some guys been doing this for a long time, and there's some guys that haven't done it at all. I think Emerald's kind of fallen in the middle there somewhere, because
you were pretty early to it. When I started interviewing you back in 2019, you were already playing with it when a lot of other people were not wanting to mess with it at all.
Right. So I was fortunate to have some good folks around me that really studied and got involved in, and guys that worked for us that were really interested in trying to make something like this work. So I was fortunate to have some people around me. So it wasn't just me. This is where the technology is going, and it's going there fast.
Oh, I agree. Yes, sir. Let's keep going through the bus here. Now, I want to ask you some more questions about how many coaches Emerald is building every year. How many of those are custom ordered? Are they spec'd coaches? Are there available coaches coming up?
So right now we're currently building about 12 coaches a year. We've had a great couple of years. We've got half of our production is pre-sold to customers that, we weren't doing a lot of custom coaches. We've got several custom X3s going right now for customers, and we've got a couple of H's that are pre-ordered with customers that we're customizing. We're doing more customization, try to keep us in that box because we want to keep our quality there and make sure everybody's happy with what we're doing. We're on schedule to build 12 coaches this year, and luckily half of our year is already pre-sold. So we do have a couple of P96s coming offline, just like this coach. Now this coach is sold to a client, but the next one I have coming off is not. So we have a couple that are coming, quad slide. So we're excited about those, and hopefully we can show you those soon.
Hey, I'd love to see them. And I know you've done some really cool floor plans, but you're one of the few Prevost converters that has done a bunk floor plan that is very sought after. You haven't done too many of them, but are there any bunk coaches coming through?
We do. We've got 2 X3s that are in production right now. One is a bunk coach and one is a non-bunk. That's a great floor plan. It's definitely requested. it. We've got some customers that love it, and you know, it's nice.
Oh, I knew a gentleman that was hunting for one. He's keeping an eye on your inventory.
That's right. So we'll throw one back his way one of these days.
Going into the next bay here, looks like we've got some storage. You've been stepping up your bays a little bit.
We have, you know, we've left a lot of these open, but one time me and you were in California, guys, you know, challenges, and you bring that up from time to time. So we've definitely changed our bays, and we've got our cabinets in here. We've got some really big, deep drawers here. And this is the depth bay on the passenger side. So we cleaned that up and made some nice cabinetry there.
Yeah, and I've got to compliment you on that. When we were out in India a few years ago, I was kind of joking with you that, you know, you called me asking me, how can you do it better? And then you're sitting around in a campground with a bunch of A personalities telling you how to build a coach, and you're actually listening. A lot of people don't want a bunch of armchair quarterbacks, but your ears are open to the armchair quarterbacks.
Yeah, you learn a lot from these guys, and a lot of them know a lot about the coaches. So some guys are really nice and helpful, and some guys are pretty critical, but that's all right. I think it makes us better.
I think you're not afraid for them to beat you up a little bit to try to move you to the next level. And then the fuel door here is a really convenient level to fill your fuel tank. What is the capacity of the fuel tank in this coach?
So we're 200 gallons on the fuel tank, and then you can fill the diesel from the passenger side or the driver's side.
Now, below the fuel tank is some ventilation here. What is that for?
So that's your driver air condenser for the air conditioning on the dash. So driver air, and that's where the air conditioning is.
Again, you're stepping it up. I really like that finished out look in your bays here. What is going on here, sir?
This is bay 5, passenger side back. We added 3 drawers and a refrigerator here for drinks and stuff, so you don't have to go inside and out of the coach. We put the water over here too, so you can actually fill your freshwater tank. You have city water, so if you didn't want to have to move your coach to fill it up if you're having trouble getting water to it.
And what are the tank capacities, fresh and holding tanks in this?
So we're 170 gallons fresh.
Wow.
And we are, let's see, 88 gray, 88 black. You can combine both tanks or keep them separate, but they are separate on this coach.
That's a lot of holding tank capacity. A really cool style. I really like what you did, especially this hardware. Just a really sleek look. You really stepped up your bays.
Thank you. We've tried, and I think we on the new P96, we completely redesigned our holding tanks and freshwater tank. The gussets inside the Prevost, the radius gussets that you see, we went back and completely re-engineered those tanks, and we fit around our gussets now to give us more capacity. So we used every inch of space and allowed to get a small refrigerator in this area too. If you did have to do a tank replacement or something went wrong, this all just comes out. We made it pretty easy to remove because it can be difficult sometimes.
Yeah, and I think we're going to talk about that more in the interior as well. Just Emerald's philosophy about making these coaches easy to work on, easy to repair, and not only does that make life easier for the technicians, but it makes the owner's life easier when the technicians are able to get to what they need to get to.
Absolutely. We don't want them hanging around the resort all day working on something if we're there or at their house or wherever we're at. So we do try to make it easy, and so that the client can see what's happening too. A lot of our guys are hands-on. They have a lot of opinion on how we need to build things. So we've tried to take their philosophy, and I'd say most of our clients want it simple. They want it easy to use. They need some help. Sometimes they want to fix it themselves really quick. So we thinking about them in mind on everything we do.
Yes, sir. I want to ask you a lot more questions about your warranty and more about Emerald, but it's getting really warm out here, so I think we should keep cruising around this coach, and I think there may be something back here. Are you ready to show this to the general public?
I'm ready.
I think I was one of the first people to see it.
Well, I'm really excited. So, this is something we've been working on a long time. We worked on it all winter long. We're going to release it today. Andrew's bringing it first to you. So we worked with Jared out at PDI Diesel, and we were able to come up with a program with him on the engine. He's an engine fanatic, as you know, and we turned him loose. We're excited. We're exclusive with him and signed a deal with Jared that's going to be huge for us. So this package you can get on a coach that we're going to bring to you, and so let's show it to you today.
You hot rod guys out there are going to like this.
This is going to be big, so there you go.
Now, what all did they do?
So it was a full takeoff. We took everything off. We chrome plated everything we could. New hoses, connectors, fittings. We painted the alternators. We did a full engine detail, and I think it's a start to where we're going. Not only the outside is a showpiece, but now we're really making this engine a showpiece. So thank you to PDI and Jared really putting some time and effort in this and working with Emerald. We worked on a program that we can do it aftermarket, before production or after production. So you just come to us, we'll show you the package, and we can get the work done.
I know that's not cheap what those boys at PDI do. Any idea on cost on that?
We don't. It's brand new. We're still figuring out, we're getting all of our systems put together and trying to standardize as much as we can on the customization of it. So it's still brand new. Like, you're the first to see it. We're just letting you take a little sneak peek of what we're trying to do and where we're trying to go.
And this more aggressive paint design with a lot more design work and a lot more detail work than I've seen on previous Emeralds. What's going on back here, sir?
Yeah, just a better paint job, just putting more paint on it, a lot more design and pattern. But then this has the new P96. When we changed our front cowling, we had to change the rear cowling. So this one we tried to tie directly into the body line like you saw in some of our older coaches and do the exact same thing. So really proud how this turned out. This was about a 2-year project to get those built, so it was not an easy process to get that. This coach is really radius. It is really aerodynamic, so I thought it turned out well.
Oh, absolutely. When we drove by this bus down the freeway, man, it just commands your attention. Just a beautiful design there.
Feels good, looks good. It's key.
Yes, sir. So we found a little bit of shade, but man, this coach is still popping, and I really like what you did with that perforated vinyl. And when we see that in the sunlight, there's some metallics. There's a lot of detail going on in that as well. Is that actually paint, or what is that?
That's perforated, and they do paint onto that.
So the same paint that goes on the coach is going on that vinyl?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
It's tough to match vinyl with that paint. They did an excellent job with that.
Excellent. Yeah, they nailed it.
So what's going on in the plumbing bay here, sir?
Yeah, we've made some nice changes here, Andrew. It's amazing how much time people spend. We talk a lot about the plumbing bay, so we have made some nice changes to it. So starting over here, we added a water drop system, which is now your filtered water. So
okay.
Change your filters a lot easier than what we currently had.
So you can have drinking, that's for drinking water?
That's for your drinking water and your ice maker.
Okay.
So just for those. We have 2 pumps. We have our 75 PSI Headhunter pump, and then we have a 12 volt 65 PSI 12 volt DC pump for redundancy. That's our backup pump, or either or if you want to use it, just depends.
I like that redundancy. If you want to take a shower that's probably got more water pressure than most people have in their homes,
yes, sir,
that Headhunter Mach 5 will do it.
Yes, sir.
Or if you want to conserve water, maybe you're dry camping, you can toggle over to the auxiliary. It's going to use a lot less water, so nice to have those options.
Yeah, if you're trying to save water. So yeah, so we've got everything with bypass valves, so if you do lose a pump or you forgot to winterize or something, we can still keep you on the road. Our black tanks and gray tank dumps are electronic, but they do have manual bypasses on that, so if you had a problem, you can still operate. We added a macerator, which our hose is in the bay forward of this one, but we have a macerator pump that you can pump your black and gray tanks empty. If you can't drain the coach, we have a 50-foot hose you can pull out, drain the tanks, and pump the water off board. People really do like that system.
That really comes in handy sometimes when you can pump uphill and just kind of throw it in a sewer.
If you're at a place where they don't have dumps and you're staying a couple of nights, you can still get it away from the coach.
Yes, sir.
So, our plumbing bay, we have a heater, we have our Oasis heat here, and we have electric heaters. So it's all heated, really simple to use. You got your pressure here, easy to see. We got black tank rinse, so you can clean your tanks out. Water spigot, so try to keep it simple. Then we have a manual fill that ties into our tank. If you don't want to use the auto bypass, or maybe you have something that's down, you can still get water on board. So we try to put as much redundancy here because this plumbing can be a problem. You got to have hot water. It's hard, hard to enjoy a trip when you don't have hot water. So thinking about that, good pressure, keeping your systems clean. But here's where we go back to Emerald. Easy to work on. We've got clients that this is critical to them. We've removed the cabinets. You can get in here, you can change things, work on things. I've got some clients that spend more time talking about this bay than they do some of the chassis. So it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate your philosophy. And I think it's important to remind folks that you come from the horse trailer business where those guys are going to rodeos. They're running these rigs hard,
yes,
and they need their stuff to work. They need redundancy.
Big time.
And so you've added 28 years of experience keeping those guys happy.
28 years of them running up and down the road. They are definitely hard on equipment, and you have to build it to stay together. With that in mind here, these guys aren't as hard on equipment, but they do use it, and they want it to function, and they want it to work right when they're using it.
So these guys aren't going down as many dirt roads as the horse trailers are?
Not near as many, thank goodness. We don't want them on any dirt roads. So
Yes, sir.
Thank goodness these guys stay on the asphalt. So we appreciate that.
Well, you still make them so they can keep using their systems if they need. Yes,
Absolutely.
sir.
So yeah, we're proud of our plumbing bay. Really working on this. This is ever changing. This thing evolves every year, it seems like. So Andrew, this bay ties right into the plumbing bay. So we took the cabinets covers out of this as well. We relocated the Oasis heater to this bay. It used to be on the back of the coach. We've moved it here. On the back of the coach now you can add a pressure sprayer or any other stuff, toolboxes. Everybody has something that they want to do. So this bay is our 50 amp power cord reel. It has a 100-foot water hose reel. And then our Oasis, like I said there, that's our generator battery. The generator battery and the chassis batteries are tied to a 700 watt solar panel that's on the roof too. So if the coach is sitting outside, it's not plugged in, we're trying to keep those batteries warm too. I know that since we moved to that solar panel on the roof, we've been doing it 4 years now. We have very few calls for chassis batteries being low or dead. If they are, they're just old or you lost a cell. So the solar panel has been a really good benefit to keep these batteries charged because, as you know, a lot of these guys don't use the generators very much, very little. When they go to call for it, we want this charged.
Yes, sir, especially with this lithium system.
Yeah.
They're getting used less and less.
Yeah.
And I always like to point this out. I love the simplicity here. Little spot for gloves. We all need that. But then also this beautiful Emerald Luxury Coaches doormat that you just flip those two switches, bam, go put that by the front door and you have a very nice doormat there.
Yeah, we put it here. You can rinse it off if it gets muddy or get after a rain, it can drip dry.
Nice spot to clean it as well there.
Nice
yes, sir.
So another thing, Andrew, like I said, this is our solar panel. This is the controller for our solar panel. And then this is our incoming shore voltage meter. Okay. So it's not lit up right now because we're not plugged in. Yep. So when you plug the coach into the shore power, this meter will light up. And what this meter does is it reads the power from the pole, not our power, because a lot of times we don't have good hookups.
Hey, I can appreciate that. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a campground, I go plug in my 50 amp and then stuff isn't working in the coach. I start freaking out that there's something wrong with the coach. Then I go to my toolbox, get my meter to go test the power post, and a lot of times it's an issue with the power post.
Big time. So sometimes a person unplugs it, they may bend that cord and break it, and they don't realize they broke it at the post. And then you come in and hook up and it's cracked and you're not getting good connectivity. You don't know that, and it's not anybody's fault, but the first thing you think is something wrong with the coach. And that's why we use this. So you can take this main power, leave your breaker off, check your meter once you plug in and go, all right, I got good power. Then you turn power onto the coach so we're not sending anything wrong to the system. We do have protection to stop that from surge guard and the inverters. However, I don't like to hit those systems with bad reverse polarity or anything like that. So this has been nice. We have some customers that really believe in it. We have customers that brought their coaches back and we've added it to it. I believe in this, have to deal with it just like your story.
For the amount of times I've had to go to my toolbox, I'd much rather have that right there because it's not if, it's when you're gonna.
It's gonna happen.
And then we've got some kind of smoked out lights. Is that a newer, or have we seen that in the past?
Yeah, when we blacked out the package, we blacked out the stainless, we blacked out these lights, the light covers, which are usually stainless, and then we smoked the lenses on the marker lights. It really looks good, kind of tones it down.
Yeah, I think this may be the first blackout package Emerald I've ever seen. I don't know if we've seen one before.
This is our first one we've done, yeah. So
looks great.
The client requested it, and I thought it looked really good.
There's that big boy, 20 kW.
20 kW diesel generator. It's on an air ride on the slide, so you can slide this out. It's in our new quiet box. We've really changed everything in the complete design of our generator this last year. We have an air compressor here that airs up our slides, and then you can hook up some air if you want to air up some toys. All of our fans in here are doubled up, so if you do lose a fan, you have another fan running, so we have some redundancy to keep the heat out of this thing. So a lot of work here, fire blankets, everything we could think of to make this work.
You know, 20 kW generator just has a lot of value. I'll tell you what, we just got hit with a hurricane warning back at my house in Florida, and I'd like to have one of these there. That would definitely come in handy right now.
Run your house.
Yes, sir. True story. Yes,
True
sir.
story,
Yeah. I'm seeing something different here. I don't think I've ever seen this in a motorhome. It says fire suppression system manual release. I've never seen a manual fire suppression release.
So
what is that?
What this is, this has a manual release if you wanted to release it if there was a problem. problem. And then this has automatic fire suppression on it too. So if you didn't know, it has automatic. It does both. So we did put a fire suppression bottle on here, just like fire suppression on the engine. So if it gets up to a certain temperature, they will release inside there. So it's just, you know, not knowing that things are happening, you don't see that. This compartment is a fire cabinet. It's built and it's fire rated, but we did add that. Maybe we can slow things down if there was an issue. We are dealing with a lot of, you know, fuel and heat and things like that.
See a Bose subwoofer there. I'd like to see that. A little outside subwoofer as well.
Outside subwoofer with the sound bar that's on the other side, which is your TV's behind that table right there. So we've left this space open, and some of our clients don't want the subwoofer. You can do either or, so whatever they want.
And then inside the coach, I'm sure you've got a killer sound system as well.
Killer sound system. You've got the subs in both rooms and sound bars in there too. So we're using Samsung.
I like seeing a nice spot to store your sewer hose on this side. I always love seeing these signature Emerald luxury coach embroidered lawn chairs.
They were building those and putting them in coaches before I was born, but they're still out there.
Still extremely comfortable.
They're great.
We've seen them hold up for decades, the same exact chairs, and then really nice to have that spot to store them. We're all gonna need lawn chairs. And you know, a lot of production motorhomes, I see people buy these lawn chairs at Walmart or Costco or stuff, and they just take up a lot of space in the bays. I've seen their bays are just kind of stacked with lawn chairs that could take up half a bay, but these are a very sleek profile, very motorhome friendly.
Yeah, they're great. We try to keep them on the door, keep them tight so we're not taking up storage in the bay. We've got our 220-110 breaker panel down here. Accesses your breakers. Very simple to use. This is back to our easy system. So these are breakers, these are square D breakers that you can get at any local store. So anywhere in the US you can get a breaker. Sometimes you may have a problem. And we've tried to use this to make a simple system. Pretty much anybody could fix something on this that is an electrician type guy. So that's our thought process behind it.
And always nice if you can just slide into like a Home Depot or a hardware store and get that part that you need rather than tracking down proprietary parts.
So, you know, the cabinet that we built it in is fire rated, and we specifically customized these to fit this coach. So the cabinet that it's in is customized, and we specifically build those for Emerald square D breakers. You know, very simple systems used, very robust.
Coming into the front bay here, this is the other side of that full pass-through bay, and I always enjoy seeing that robust structure to support the slide rooms and the quad slides, and then more of those lawn chairs. So you have 4 lawn chairs total.
Yes, sir. And you're right. I mean, this structure is incredible. I think in the industry, by far leading chassis. I mean, it's going to flex. The chassis is going to move and flex. It's just the way it is, but super stout how Prevost does it. If you ever see one of these without the body on it when they're building the chassis, I mean, you get to see very little of what is really behind the scenes. It's incredible. It's a beast. I mean, it is the beast on the highway, if you ask me. So, but still, bay 1, keeping it open. These are your slide out controls. So these are the slide out controls from Prevost, because we use Prevost slides. Easy to get to, up out of the way. Once again, you know, Prevost thinks about a lot of things. They got the customer in mind, where we're not taking up their space.
I want to compliment one other thing that you're doing. The floors in your basement bays are a material it's almost rubberized, but it has a slight texture to it, so it looks like it's very easy to clean, where I see a lot of the other high-end motorhomes are, you know, fully finished with carpets, where if you do have a spill, it's much more difficult to clean those carpets.
You know, if you'll look at some of our first coaches, we did carpet. We did do that, and you know, I think after we saw the spots and things in the carpet, it really hurt the coaches when they were trying to resell it. Now you're trying to carpet a floor for a guy to get him in, you know, the new owner. So we had found this material. We tried 3 or 4 different kinds, and it would scratch or it didn't work as well. So we kept searching. We didn't feel like carpet was really where we wanted to be. We saw, like you said, they're putting lawn chairs in and canoes and
bicycles,
and,
yes sir.
You know, kids equipment, all kinds of stuff. So we needed it rough. So we went with this. You can blow it out. You can wash it out. You know, our panels on our bay walls, there's no wood in here. I've seen a lot that are wrapped with wood, with carpet wrap. We got away from all that. We use ABS panels, and there's no wood in this area, so you can blow this out, wipe it down. This is very scratch resistant, so it's been really good. We tested it.
I think that's one of the things that you're doing is you're thinking ahead of resale value. It's not just, you know, how is this coach going to work for the first couple years while it's under warranty, but you want to keep these people in the Emerald family for decades to come. So you're thinking ahead for someone 5-10 years down the road, the stuff they're going to have to be going through here.
No, you're exactly right. And something I probably didn't realize as much when I started this, I started getting into this business, is once we create this this unit here, it's part of our family at Emerald the rest of its life. We're going to keep servicing it, not just the customer. We're going to keep servicing it. And I probably didn't think about that when I started. You don't look that far out. Once we started seeing it, I'm like, wow, we got to change our products to go a long time. The bar set very high with our competitors. You know, the first thing we were hammered on a little bit is, oh, the Emerald's not going to have value on trade. The Emerald's bringing value to itself because of these type of changes we were making. So we really have that in mind. We know that this coach lives with us, whether people call us or not after they buy it, but really it's in our fleet. We're going to be the ones that are caretaking this coach the rest of its life, or sending parts to someone that had purchased it from someone else. We want to make it easy to use, but we want it to look good. You know, we want it to have that value 10 years from now. They open the bay door, it looks good, blow it out, it's still looking good. So that's the key. We want to keep that value there and keep raising that bar every coach.
Oh yeah, Emerald's got some cool style before, and I'm looking forward to showing everyone the interior and showing more of that philosophy. Now, before we go inside, I've got to ask you one question that a lot of people and I have been talking about lately. Is it possible for Emerald luxury coaches to build a non-slide brand new Prevost?
Absolutely. If you wanted a non-slide brand new Prevost, Emerald coaches would build it. We have to get with Prevost and get that lined out, but absolutely, I think there's some customers that request that and want that. I understand.
So they'd probably want to custom order that. That'd have to be a custom order deal?
That would be a custom order deal. But yeah, we would not turn that down.
You're not going to start speccing non-slide coaches?
I don't know, Andrew. You might have me talk to you too.
I'm twisting your arm. But on that note, you know, you have quad slides, triples, and double slides currently that Emerald is building.
Yes.
How many are you building of each of those?
So what we do is right now we try to keep a mix in production, and so we'll build two quads, and then we'll do 2 triples, we'll do 2 X3. So I don't have a problem telling you that's what we're doing in production. We try to keep some consistency there for our guys in production. It seems like when we're building one, we're finishing it and somebody sees a quad, but they may want to change something or they want something a little different, we have one handy. So I don't know, that seems to what happens when people come in and look at production. So that's how our mix is, but we are trying to keep a mix because we may have a guy that's just a double slide guy and the next guy is really looking for a quad. So we're trying to keep that mix there. Our engineering is improved so much over the last 10 and 12 years. We have everything engineered. This is 100% engineered now all the way through. So changing from a H to an X at one time was a problem. It's hard to make that changeover. We've already crossed that and got over that bridge, if you will. Our production can handle that. Our engineering staff can handle that. So that's something I'm very proud of, that they're able to change, and our team and staff there, they like the challenge. You know, they're like, hey, let's build something different. You know, they're not in that same old grind, I guess. So we like the changeover. Prevost offers these products. I think we need to show and build those products.
Absolutely. And what's the cost difference between a double, triple, and quad slide?
The cost between the slide outs are about a little over $100,000.
And I'm sure there's variables on the size of the slide and lots of variables.
They offer probably too much, but you can get, there's guys that all have a different ideal and how they want things set up.
So if someone wanted to custom order an X3 non-slide motorhome conversion from you, they could probably strip quite a bit of cost out?
They probably could, yeah. You're getting rid of those slides, and you know, those are mechanical and they cost a lot of money.
I want to see it. I'm hoping one of you will challenge John and step up and get a deposit down for a custom build. That's what my dreams are.
Talk about it. When I first started, I built some non-slides, and they're great coaches. They're amazing.
Well, hopefully someone builds that, and that would be a great coach for me in about 10 or 20 years when it gets to my price range.
There you go.
Yes,
Pull
sir.
it down.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm really excited to see the interior. Do you think we could pop the slide rooms out and take a look inside?
Let's go, Andrew. Let's
awesome.
Go.
John, it looks like you and the team at Emerald have been hard at work. This is a beautiful coach. What is the story here, sir?
Thank you, Andrew. Everybody at Emerald's been working extremely hard. So this is a quad slide and with super slides in the bedroom. So we're really excited about this, Coach Andrew.
Yes, sir. You've been building coaches for quite some time, and you look a lot younger than I think people realize, but you've been in the RV industry for 28 years now, and you converted your first Prevost 20 years ago?
Yeah, so it shows my age a little bit. First company, Outlaw Conversions, is 28 years old as of June. So been doing it a long time. Feels like it's going by really fast. Now with Emerald, I did convert my first Prevost XL2 in 2004. So that was my first coach, just slow steps from there. And so now full production at Emerald Luxury Coaches.
I've seen that 04 Outlaw, and that was an impressive coach back in the day because you had a lot of experience converting horse trailers before you converted that Prevost. But then later on, you made the transition, separating Outlaw on the horse conversion side, and then the Prevost conversion side became Emerald. What is the story behind that?
So yes, sir. I mean, that's right. So when we started, I was really young and I started, and I had Outlaw conversions, so I started Outlaw Coach. So it worked right with what we were doing. I started young, didn't have a lot of experience, didn't understand the market that well, but I loved coaches, I loved buses, and wanted to be a part of that, whatever that looked like. Outlaw was a great company to work with because we had things in place. We had machinery, engineering, and I was able to use some of those tools to launch a company. As you know, Andrew, these companies like this and building motor coaches is very difficult. This is a very hard company to get started, so I was able to use Outlaw conversions to do that. So we converted 12 coaches that were Outlaw Coach from 2004 to 2012. So that I didn't build that many coaches. I built a couple along as I learned and as our team learned, and we used Outlaw as kind of a launch pad there. We built the coaches at Outlaw at the time. 2009, 2010, I was able to buy some property close to Outlaw conversions where Emerald is today. So we launched Emerald in 2012. That's when we started over thinking about the product, changing the name, changing our process. We were able to set up our service and moving forward, and the whole aspect of running a conversion company.
I know there's a lot that goes into it, and one of your philosophies that you've shared with me, from the start with Emerald is to keep a simple coach. It's easy to work on, less stuff that can break.
Exactly. We had to not only build a coach, but we had to build a manufacturing facility to build that. So, as you're starting a company, you're doing two things, which was very difficult. So as we dug into this and talking to clients and new people coming into the industry, taking a lot of data from those people on how they use these things, the problems they experienced or what made their experience great or bad. Our takeaway from that was it was time for a simpler coach. It was time for a serviceable coach. So we worked closely with the Prevost service centers in Texas, Houston, Dallas, went into those centers and said, what do you guys see that you'd like us to do different? Took them a coach and let them take it apart and tell us how to build that coach better. So working with the Prevost service technicians going, we need access here, we need access here, we don't want to have to remove cabinets, spend a ton of money with the client trying to keep them on the road. So we really took that ideal, and I believe we've built a system. If you come to Stevensville, Texas, come to our factory and let us show you how we build these things. It's pretty incredible what our team has done there because they're very easy to service, they're very easy to use, and still very high tech. They still have all the bells and whistles and the things that the customers want. Because at the end of the day, we want to keep our customer on the road. We want them not sitting in a service center. And so, at the end of the day, we build all this stuff and we built a system, but we have to service it. So it's a huge process getting through that. Our teams worked extremely hard to build a coach, a manufacturing facility, and a service system to tie all that together. Hopefully we get the right client that fits that.
Well, it's not just building the coach, it's keeping them going down the road. And I know you have a huge network through Outlaw Conversions, your horse trailer company, but what is the service network for someone that purchases an Emerald? What's the warranty? And where can someone take this to get stuff worked on the house side? We know Prevost has several service centers around the country for the chassis side, but as far as house items, how do you help folks if they have an issue on a house item?
It's a huge job, and that's a huge network. We have definitely used our Outlaw Conversions network. We have 25 dealers across the United States that sell our product, and these guys are in the high-end industry too. They have some great technicians.
What is the warranty on this coach?
Right now, the warranty on this coach is a 2-year warranty from Emerald Luxury Coaches, bumper to bumper. We want to run all that service through us. We want to handle everything for the customer. We don't need the customer calling a vendor or somebody on a generator or anything that goes wrong. We want to handle all of that. So, the warranty too is very interesting in the industry because it's such a competitive market. The customers are so tight with each other. We're warranting things that are way past when we built it.
And I've even heard of you going above and beyond just on goodwill that's not expected to be under warranty, but really going above and beyond to keep your customers happy.
Yes, sir, Andrew. We have to. We want to stand behind the customer and help them. So we do give a lot of goodwill, and then the customers have been great to support our service. So it's been a great partnership with our clients. So we will stand behind the product, and we have to do what we have to do to help them.
Yes, sir. And I was beating you up a little bit before we turned the camera on. I was asking you, hypothetically, if I had a new Emerald and I'm in New Jersey and for some reason my hot water heater or something isn't working, what would the steps be? If I'm in a place where there's not a lot of RV service centers, what would you do to handle that?
As the calls come in and what that is, we take each job case-by-case basis, and we look at it. We'll send a service tech out if we can fix it fast, fix it in the field. We really got good at traveling around the country and coming to the client. They seem to like that. The downtime's a lot less, and they're dealing directly with us, not an outside service. If we can't get there, or whatever the case may be, we try to move them to the closest Prevost service center and then get into Prevost and work with them. So Prevost has been a great partner to help the converters and Emerald. So we try that. As a Prevost converter, we really try to use the Prevost service centers, and that network is vast, and so we lean on that. We can get to you. Sometimes we just need a little patience, but we're trying to react as fast as we can. And we understand that service is the only thing that's going to take Emerald into the future.
Yes, sir, that makes sense. If you want to sell an owner another coach here in a few years, you got to make sure you're taking care of them now. And that reminds me of one of my good buddies, Jimbo, who had, I think, a 2011 Outlaw H, loved it so much, wanted to buy another Emerald, but at that time in the pandemic, there was no Emeralds available, so he bought something else, but ended up back in a 22 Emerald X, I believe, and he just raves about your service over and over.
Jimbo's a great client. Yeah. He's a prime example of the client we're after. He's part of our family now, yeah. And we go to his house. We've been to his house several times. He comes to us, whatever he wants to do, wherever he's moving around. Him and his family are great. I know my technicians with Jimbo, when he calls, they love working for him. And that's critical, because these guys they have to get to know each other a little bit. So he is a great guy that's helped Emerald really move down the road.
He's got high expectations too. Some of his stories, he could talk about some of the plastic coaches. That's a whole nother story we won't talk about. But
that's good. He has very high expectations, as he should.
Well, and your owners are your best salespeople out there, because they're the ones that really know these coaches better than anyone else. So.
Absolutely. We've had some clients that are unbelievable. I've got a couple of guys down south right now that, he has an Emerald. He's fixing to be on his second Emerald. His best friend and him sit around, and they like engineering, they like designing, and I think they're probably the best engineers I have. They're unbelievable. I mean, they're using it, they're hanging out on it. They contact me, and we share ideas, and I love working with them. I think they're a huge part of what Emerald does in the future.
Yeah, I know you have your ear to the ground. The first time I met you, we were out at Motor Coach Country Club in Indio, and I saw, you were asking owners of different Prevost conversions, hey, what can I do better? You've even called me and said, hey, what can we do better? Maybe a few months ago, you just called me out of the blue, like, hey, what do I need to do better? I was like, hey, I like to hear stuff like that, because you're passionate about making the best product possible for the customers, and you've been doing this for 20 years now, so you got quite a bit of experience here.
Yeah, I mean, but it changes every day, and you got to make that phone call, because it's changing so fast with technology and the things that we're doing, and our clients move faster today than ever, so we have to stay on top of this. I called you because buyers at this level have the highest expectations.
This is the big leagues for sure.
It's the big leagues for sure. So we have to stay on top of that. We're trying to strive every day to build a better coach. Our coaches need to get better every day, and fight that.
Now, keeping up with change, we're in the new 9660 shell. We saw the outside, what you've done with this new body style Prevost, but what have you done on the interior to keep up?
With the new 9660, we definitely had to change our cab. But when the aerodynamics changed of the cab, we changed the interior design. A lot of change there, all new jigs, new tooling, the whole 9 yards. Redid the dash, the whole new dash setup. So
why don't we take a look? Well, why don't we sit down and take a look at the new dash here? So this looks a lot different than previous Emeralds.
Prevost did an unbelievable job changing the dash design. It's super comfortable, it's super cool, it feels good driving. Lots of great visibility. This has the e-mirrors. We have our systems that you can monitor running down the road. You're able to control a lot of the RV systems from the driver's seat. Everything is easy to use, easy to see. You can turn on your air conditioning, you can check your, monitor your batteries, everything as you're moving down the road. We have the new leveling system here, which is now 4-point independent, which is really nice. It has the engine start switch now. It's push button start, and then has the key fob on it, and then it has the new parking brake. They've moved the switch for the parking brake to the dash, which is a lot easier to use than the old ones. I think the seat's a lot more comfortable. It moves a lot better than the previous seat. We've really tried to build everything around it so it feels tight and more of a sports car feel, not just riding out there on the seat. What's awesome about this new seat and the new setup is, no matter your size, you can adjust, get it how you need to set in this. So it's a lot better for the adjustment and feel of the coach with the new seat.
Yeah, I think we had a guy from Prevost, like 6'7" or 6'8", actually sit down, and he was very comfortable.
A big guy can sit here, you know, a big tall guy. So yeah, it's a totally different drive. It's a totally different feel.
Yeah, and I've got to point out this lighting here. This is different than what we've seen in previous coaches. This line kind of follows the body lines. Is that all new for the 9660?
Yeah, on the 9660, they, you know, if you will, they rake that nose back and the front cap back. So we wanted to kind of bring that design into the coach and give it that little aerodynamic look, if you will, or aircraft look.
Yeah, and all the nice little touches like I've seen in previous coaches. Just a great spot for a cup holder here, a spot to maybe set your cell phone or your keys. Oh, I like it. It slides out too. Little storage in there.
And on your air conditioning, now you have passenger control, you have driver control. So the passenger has air conditioning control as well, which is nice.
Yeah, really cool cockpit up here, but I think the folks want to see the rest of the coach. You think we can show them around?
Let's do it, Andrew.
Now, the first thing that's really catching my eye that I really love about this coach is this newer style accent wall, a little bit different than some of the accent walls we've seen in some of the previous Emeralds.
Yes, and I think that's cool about what we do, Andrew, is we've really designed where we can change accent walls so the coaches don't look the same. You have something that looks a lot different. These are all removable, like I've said in some of the past videos. You can remove these panels, you can change them. Down the road, if somebody wanted to change the design, change the color, this coach is not that hard to take apart and recover and do some things to make it look good, or if we had a problem.
Yeah, we've talked about that in previous videos. If someone had like an older Outlaw or an older Emerald and they wanted to remodel, the way you build the coach is you're thinking ahead to switch those surfaces that are easier to switch out down the road.
That's what we find, because a coach sells, it's an older coach, somebody buys it and they want to give it a little bit of their touch or update a little bit. We found it was, you know, people might not be interested in a coach if it was going to take a ton of work. So two things, by making these removable panels, we're able to work on the coach. So if you had a window that had a problem or something happened, or you can change things out. So it's not as costly. It's back to that serviceability, easy to use coach. And so this whole coach is basically, you know, magnetic and snapped on panels, which is pretty cool. But it took us a while to get to that point, but it's very serviceable as well.
And we know these Prevost shells are built to last, you know, decades and decades and a million miles. There's a good chance that the shell is going to outlast the trends and the design trends. So someone, if they want to, you know, change this coach 10 or 20 years down the road, it's set up for that.
You know, it ties into the chassis. I mean, there's no chassis out there that's built like the Prevost chassis. I mean, it's a leader in that. So we have to think about that, because some of the clients are, you know, they're second, third owner and they're moving 20 years into the coach. You've got to be able to work on them because they'll last and last. It's unbelievable.
But I think that's one of the big things for Emerald Resale is because you build them and they're so serviceable that when they get to be, you know, 5 or 10 years old and folks are looking to buy a Prevost, they'd rather buy something that's less complex, that's going to have less stuff that's going to break. So when we see resale value as the Emeralds age, they really hold strong.
They do. They hold strong, and we've tried to use systems that aren't going to time out and use companies that are going to be in business that can weather major storms, because once you put these systems on here, you want to make sure you're with somebody that's going to stay there. You don't have to go do a huge expensive update on a coach, on a used one. So I think that's where our value comes in. We're using components that are going to last. We work with manufacturers and suppliers that are going to be there. You know, there's no fly-by-night stuff in this coach. It's good hardware.
Well, and you survived through that 08, 09 recession that broke a lot of RV companies. So the fact that you had the strength to weather that storm really says a lot, because that really weeded a lot of companies out.
Absolutely, and we saw vendors go away and everything. So, you know, I think as we learned from those lessons, we built that coach basically understanding that things are going to happen in the economy, things are going to change. How do we get this chassis and this interior to move forward through those tough times?
You've had a couple decades of learning lessons about these.
It's a learning experience every day. The clients are training on us every day too.
Yes, sir. Now, coming up here, we've got this nice recliner here. I've got to try this out for size, and I see the TV on the televator behind the recliner, but then this almost seems like it could be more of an office workstation area.
Yeah,
or
that's what it's designed. We have the TV behind you, and then you can slide this out.
This is on the fly too. I haven't done this yet, but I'm assuming this is a keyboard tray.
Yep, you can do it.
Really versatile.
We have a place for the printer down there, so you can put your printer.
Pre-plumbed for a printer, it looks like.
Yes, sir.
And then really nice lighting inside of your cabinets. Is there lights in all of the cabinets in this coach?
lighting on every cabinet. Places that you probably don't even need lighting, but we try to light it up because it's hard to see in these things.
Yeah, lighting is very important, and that's something that you've been doing a great job at for a long time now. Just all of the indirect lighting, and then I really like the sleek lines, like these kind of lines. I feel like some of the industry's been taking notes of some of the stuff you've been doing. I've started to see some of your design cues pop up in some other coaches.
Yeah, we've been pretty fortunate. I think our designs worked well. We like the sleek lines. We like the aerodynamic look, or aircraft look, if you will. I think lighting is critical because it can be hard to see inside the interior sometimes.
Yes, sir. Now, we have a TV inside of the slide room here so that when the quad slides are in, you can still easily watch TV from this booth or this recliner. But is there more AV equipment up front there? Press one button and then this will fold down here?
Yes, sir. We have a 55-inch TV there. On the lift, and then we have a 32-inch here in the slide.
Nice. So does this turn into sleeping? This?
Yes, sir. It's a jackknife sofa here. The sofa goes down right here, and you can control it right here from the switch. So it makes a nice little bed.
Yeah, very smooth as well.
Yeah, smooth, quiet. Makes a nice little bed.
Yeah, and then that folds up very effortlessly. And I really like these cup holders fixed in place next to the couch. And then again, more of that indirect lighting, all those little subtle details really add up. And then we've seen this booth in several of your floor plans. This seems to be very popular.
Very popular. People request it. It's a good place to work, or eating or playing cards. So we did make this where it will lower and make a bed for a grandkid or a smaller kid to sleep on.
Can you show us how that works?
Yeah. So it's simple. It has its own switch here, and you basically come here and you can lower this table down. What else is nice too is you can lower the height of the eating if you need to. So this goes all the way down, and then we have a cushion that you can put in here that'll make the bed.
And then how wide is that? Do these
will snap off.
Okay,
and
so
you can store them. And so we'll be at 72 inches.
Okay.
6 foot. 6 foot inside dimension on the dinette.
Nice. All by pressing a button, and then there's outlets and USB ports back there.
We got outlets and USBs on everything, everywhere. We try to put a plug or a USB port anywhere, and USB-C.
Yeah, I really like the lighter color wood grain. Gives it a very nice feel. And then I've got to tip my hat to your craftsmen in Stephenville that put these together. When you open this, it's got that soft close there. You can see it snap into place. I mean, everything really feels like it's very solid, firm.
We use all the best hardware, soft close hinges, everything. And our magnetic latches, we've been doing magnetic latches, and people really like them, and they're a little bit different,
Yeah, and I don't know if I've seen it, the way that this, when I open this up and then it locks into place like that, I don't know if I've ever seen that in an RV.
Trying to make it easy for the customer if they're trying to put plates up in there, not sitting there fighting a door.
And those doors opening up is going to make for easier access rather than side where you're fighting other cabinets.
Yeah. So I found on the longer doors too, Andrew, sometimes if you get them too wide, they're hard to shut and they'll lay down on you a little bit.
Coming over to the Galley, I love what you did with the two-tone cabinets with the lighter color and then the darker bottoms, but you also have the two-tone going on here. Very cool style.
Yeah, it's an exotic laminate, kind of change it up a little bit to give it some look so it's not all the same. The team's done a good job on designing this. So we got about an 84-inch Galley. We have a Fisher Paykel dishwasher right here, Andrew, which is really nice, integrated into the cabinetry. Drawers, lots of storage. We have our soft close hinges again on our doors. We got a slide out trash can here. Lots of storage, very deep, using all the space of the coach as we can.
Yeah, I like the little touches that you do as well. Like here we've got a very high-end silverware divider. Everything is lined with carpet, very clean construction. And then I noticed we've got some cool decor pieces. Does your team finish these coaches out with decor pieces?
No, we do it all the way. So all the decor, all the way, sheets, pillows, towels, the whole 9 yards. So everything you want. So
it's turnkey ready.
Turnkey ready. So silverware, plates, whatever you want. So yeah, we have everything here.
I like that you've got the lip here on the countertop to prevent any spills from dripping on those beautiful cabinets.
Yes, sir.
And then we've got a cooktop cover. Looks like a Wolf induction cooktop there.
Yes, sir. Wolf induction cooktop right here.
Yeah, and these cooktop covers are very flush. There's no gaps here. Very tight fit. Is that all done in-house at Emerald?
Yes, sir. We build all the countertops in-house, and all our cabinetry, everything we build is in-house there. So
yeah, and then these sink covers are also flush. Very clean galley area here.
Yeah, a bigger sink, Andrew, and trying to keep as much space as we can, build into the body line of the coach again. And then, our lightweight cabinetry, super lightweight doors, We've got adjustable shelves here inside, auto lights. We put a lot of lights in the cabinets so it's easy to see.
Yeah, very bright lighting in the cabinets there like we saw earlier.
Covers in all the floors of the cabinets, and you know, trying to give as much storage to the customer as we can.
Yes, sir. Viking microwave. Do you choose specific appliances, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, we choose Viking for the higher end products. This is a convection oven microwave, so you can do both on this. So very popular, seems to be very popular with our clients. They have them in their homes, and so we try to use those higher end products that you'd see in a high end home.
Yes, sir. And then I'm looking for the refrigerator here, but it's almost hidden the way it lines up with the rest of the cabinets here. Big Fisher Paykel refrigerator here?
Yes, sir. Got a Fisher Paykel refrigerator, has a slide out drawer, freezer drawer, so really nice integrated.
And with that sliding ice tray. And then another cooler accent wall. Now this is more of the traditional emerald style accent wall.
Yeah.
A little different than previous patterns, but
changing up a little bit, but doing the angles on all of our panels. That seems, I see some guys doing that now. It has a good look, so it's kind of fun to see that.
Yes, sir. Now, bath and a half coach coming here into the rear of the coach. And again, I like what you did here. It would have been very easy just to keep this wall just, you know, matching the cabinets, but you put in this cool lighting, almost like another accent wall in your hallway here.
Yes, sir. You know, trying to give it that look, that aircraft look, if you will, but integrating everything in, so you can't tell if it's a door or not, just to give it a cool look. And I think it's nice, you know, and it lights up great at night if you kill down the indirect lighting.
Yes, sir. Coming into the half bathroom here, this is something I really like that you do. You're using manual pocket doors. We don't have to press a button to open the door. We just have a little locking mechanism. Very robust hardware.
Yes, sir.
And then that'll slide shut. And when that locks into place, and there's a little locking mechanism here.
Very clean. You know, that's customer request. That's not us making that decision. That's based on the customer making that decision. So we do a lot of manual stuff. Redundancy, things that not having to fight those things. We have a pantry here in the hall.
Again, more really nice lighting.
Storage, lighting, adjustable shelves. You can configure this to what fits you. Then we have the
Bosch washer and dryer, and I really like seeing these reinforcements here, this metal piece on the inside of the door. What is the reasoning for that?
Over time, these doors may expand or move on you a little bit, Andrew. This is to keep them in position. This helps us in the manufacturing of the lightweight door.
Longevity of the coach, looking out for the owner, maybe a couple owners down the road will appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Coming back into the half bathroom here, I'd like to just show everybody it's a really good size. We've got great mirrors here, and the light colors that give it a very clean feeling. And I like the style of these doors, just lots of cool touches that Emerald does. Again, very well lit cabinets, outlets, and just every panel, like these wall panels, the tile backsplash here. There's a little spot for storage, great spot for toilet paper there. I don't think I've seen that spot for storage in any RVs, and then a little spot to maybe set your drink down there if you need to sit on the head.
That's exactly right.
And then some good medicine cabinet space here. And again, just that beautiful tile backsplash that follows all the way around, and some good storage in your half bathroom, nice indirect lighting. Again, that straight line lighting, so many nice details that you do. And I feel like it'd be easier just to throw a bunch of puck lights in here, but you guys are going above and beyond here.
We're trying to change it up, Andrew, and give it a lot better look and really keep things bright and clean.
I can tell you've been making little improvements, because even like the 20s, I remember how impressed I was with the earlier Emeralds that I saw, but just all those little details, I know you and your team are at work. Yes, sir.
It takes time, one little step at a time.
Yes, sir. Now this rear bedroom with the super slides, quad slide, this is a huge space back here. And when we first saw this earlier and we were just talking about the style of this floor plan, I really like having the really big closet right here in the front of your room, just all in one space. Again, well lit, lined with carpet. Looks like there's a little, is that a safe hidden back there?
Yes, sir. Big closet. The closet storage is key. People, you can configure this. We have people that add drawers, take away drawers. It just depends on the client on what they want here. So we've tried to leave this as big and flexible as we can.
Yeah, really, I mean, I can literally walk inside of this closet. I wouldn't want to spend any amount of time in here, but just to show you guys size
of it.
And again, those reinforcements on those doors for longevity of the coach.
Just another big closet right here, Andrew. It's super deep. This slide out is deeper, and so we added another bar across the back for maybe jackets and stuff that you don't wear all the time, but trying to use every inch of the coach to give them as much storage as possible.
Yeah, some huge storage spots, and I like what you did by not breaking up. You know, some coaches we go into will have like 25 drawers or something, but
right.
You can only put so big of items in that drawer where you could even put, you know, different types of configurations to separate your items within this big, large closet storage area. Then we've got a full-length mirror here to make it real easy when you're getting ready, and then I believe this door just opens just easy peasy like that?
Yes, sir. Easy to use. Simple.
Yeah. When it locks into place, there's no question if that door is closed. And then if you're getting ready here, I mean, this is a nice large area in your bedroom where you got moving room. I mean, even a couple could be both getting ready here at the same time.
Yeah,
yes,
it's
sir.
got a lot of floor space. These super slides are amazing, and the way Prevost has allowed us to position them is huge.
Yes, sir. Now, John, you don't seem like an overly paranoid guy here, but
No.
You got the camera set up to see all around the coach while you're laying in bed in case you just want to lay in bed and see what's going on outside your coach.
Yeah, we do. We have 360 cameras. Security cameras are traveling, so you can use them for both. You're able to pull these up on any TV if you're at a resort and you hear something and something makes you nervous. That capability is here. So, and it has a DVR recording as well. So it's nice.
Always a nice peace of mind. I would have maybe expected to see this with those Outlaws that you sell. You've got some Outlaws that buy some of these coaches, I've heard.
That would work very well for some of our Outlaw customers.
And I really like the two-tone cabinets. Again, lots of straight line lighting. And I was talking about drawer space. I didn't even realize it, but you do have some good drawer space here and more storage below your TV. Now, this is a fixed TV.
This is a fixed TV, yes, sir. Sound bar below it. Just in the salon here, it has 11 to 12 drawers. So it has quite a few drawers as well, just in this area.
And lots of storage, and then on each side of the TV, just some more adjustable shelving, utilizing all that space. And it looks like a king-size bed.
Yes, king-size bed. Back to using simple systems, really basic, but really functional. Has a head lift and has a foot lift too. So you can do both in this bed. Controls of the coach on both sides of the bed. Light switches, and then that's your doorbell camera. So you can stay in bed and you don't have to get out. You can do a lot of things from the bed, checking your lights. You can turn your outside lights on all the way around the coach. You know, if you heard something or something spooks you at night or whatever. So like to be able to control everything here from the bed. Look at systems, look at batteries, everything.
Climate control.
Climate control.
Generator start and stop.
Generator start and stop. Climate control, heating. It controls everything.
Heated.
So,
does this bus have heated floors?
Yeah, I'm sorry I left that out at the first. So we do have 2-zone heated floors. We have the salon and we have the stateroom heated floors.
While you're standing there, before we see that rear bathroom, I've got to compliment that lighting. Again, that straight line lighting gives it such a nice clean look here on your accent walls there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think our teams work. We look and we want to give something different to the industry, and our teams worked on some design, lightweight panels, not adding a lot of weight to the coach when we're designing, but still have that really clean, crisp look.
And that's, you know, something that if, you know, 10 or 20 years down the road, if a future owner wanted to change some of that stuff out,
that they could. This coach should be updated easy and maybe not a lot of cost.
Yes, sir. Now, I'm noticing a couple more drawers here. Looks like we have some more storage here below the bed as well.
Yes, sir. We utilize under the bed as much as we can. And then we've made everything, the mechanisms and stuff that come from Prevost very accessible. So if we had to work on it, service techs could get to it very easily, but still utilizing the storage that's underneath the bed.
Yes, sir. And I'm trying to keep up with all of the cool little details and those little small changes that I see. But I believe this is a different pattern style on the ceiling here in the bedroom.
We did. And on the P96, we made about 30 to 40 changes and adjustments to the whole product that we're building. We changed our air conditioning ducting. So our new system has, coming out of the air conditioners, all radius corners, trying to kill the sound as much as we can. We're running a double down both sides of the coach for air conditioning ducts. So it allowed us to give us some different design and change up the look a little bit from what we've done in the past. So it just changing it up.
And this coach has how many rooftop ACs?
So this coach is running 4 15,000 BTU air conditioners. 3 up front and then 1 here for the stateroom.
Yeah, a lot of cooling and heating capability in this coach.
Yeah, you have the electric heaters and we have the Oasis heating hydronic system that we have. So you've got both in this coach for heating.
Yeah, a lot of cool little subtle touches. You guys are always pushing the industry now.
Thank you.
Still have a large rear bathroom behind you. What's going on back here?
So utilizing all the space, this is back to where we're building to the body line of the coach, keeping it as wide as we can. So we put a big man shower here, build all the system in-house, and then we'll tile it after the fact. So there's basically two steps to building the shower. We made it wider because we had requests for, big wide shouldered guys and stuff. So, and then you have some storage here, easy access to work on plumbing, things like that. You have linen, and then we tried to put as many drawers as we could in the vanity to, give you as much storage as possible. We put a little jewelry cabinet in there for the client. Lots of mirrors so you can see both sides and,
all the way around. Yeah.
Then it really opens this rear of the coach up and it gives it a good look. You got a lot of countertop space to set your stuff as well.
Yeah, I really like the lighter colors back here. It's a very clean feeling, and yeah, when you're getting ready and you got to set down a toothbrush or shaving cream and all that good stuff while you're getting ready, nice to have that extra countertop space. Or if your wife's got to have a hair straightener, and we know all that these countertops can get filled up pretty quickly, especially when the gals are getting ready.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. I got to try this shower out for size. I love that design on the tile here. This is unlike anything I've ever seen. It looks like it's coming off of the wall, but it's not. Almost playing some eye tricks on me a little bit.
It's actually stainless too, which is kind of cool. Yeah,
stainless still in the shower too. Very cool. You had a good height here with a vent with a fan, and you got this nice piece. Is this like a Corian or what type of?
Yeah, we do the manufactured solid surface up there, so it's easy to clean, and then we built our shower lower. And so we've got our shower as low as we can, so it's an easy step in there, and then angling everything toward the drain. So just get as much water out of there as fast as we can.
Yep, and I like this tile. It's a cool pattern that I can feel it underneath my socks, but I definitely feel just a very subtle pitch there so that the water isn't standing.
Yeah, and then with those smaller tile, we found it gives the customer a little grip. Yep. So everything's not so slick.
That's exactly what I'm feeling on my feet, because I've been in motorhomes where it's like the shower floor is too flat, so if the coach is a little tilted, it has a tough time draining, where I would prefer to have that slight pitch where it's not going to be standing water, and then having that little grip definitely feels nice.
Yeah, because we build an outer layer that protects the coach if it ever had a leak. And then our second layer is where we build a special fiberglass pan that has the angle and the pitch for the water. So there's two steps, but it really is nice because you get a good drain.
John, I really appreciate the opportunity to see this 100th anniversary Prevost on the new body style.
Thank you for coming to Texas and sweating with us a little bit today. It's nice and hot here in Texas, so we appreciate you coming down and giving us the opportunity to be on your page. We appreciate all you do for the industry. You're great for Emerald Luxury Coaches. You've been a great partner, and we can't thank you enough for putting our content out there and helping us with our coaches.
Hey, it's an absolute honor. And anytime you want us to jump on an airplane to see the latest and greatest, you don't have to twist my arm. This is what it's all about for this channel, seeing the best. Now, is this particular coach spoken for, or is it available?
This coach is already sold, Andrew. The client is taking delivery of it this week. So luckily we were able to shoot it right before delivery. So unfortunately this coach is gone to a great client, a great partner of Emerald Luxury Coaches. So we're excited about this week. Got a big week coming up.
Yeah, well, congratulations to the owner of this coach. The team at Emerald knocked it out of the park on this spec. The exterior, interior, the whole package is an incredible coach.
Well, thank you, Andrew. There's a lot to build in these. These just don't happen overnight, so we appreciate it. It takes me, you, and everybody, and our amazing team back home to get this done, so thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate it. Now, is there anything in the future, any Emeralds coming through that are going to be available that you can share with us?
Yeah, so right now we have two P96s that aren't spoken for that are coming off the production line. We have some X3 double slides that we're building this year, so I'm going to bring some of that product back that you saw when we first started Emerald, so we're excited about those units. So we've got a pretty exciting year. We've got quite a few custom orders that we're building through right now, so you may not see a few coaches come offline right now because we've got to get some customers delivered. Looking forward to this year. Had a great start to this year, and with the new P96, it's really just changing the dynamics of our sales and what's going on. So it's great that we have something new to kind of really show the customers, and Prevost's done an amazing job building this product. So set the bar high, like you said, our customers demand it high. So it's a big year for Emerald, but I'd say it's even a bigger year, Andrew, for Prevost. It's Prevost's 100th birthday, and so man, there's not a lot of companies in America or in the world that get to say I'm 100 years old. So happy birthday to Prevost. Happy birthday to all the hardworking folks at Prevost that work day and night to build these coaches for us to enjoy. And so we couldn't be more lucky to have such a great leader of the industry and build such an amazing product. So happy birthday to Prevost, and looking forward to the birthday party that's coming up soon.
Yeah, I think that's going to be up in Quebec City, and I don't know if there's events going on that Prevost owners can attend, or is that all spoken for?
It's all spoken for. The rally is full. There's a week full of events and all kinds of different parties and stuff. So it's going to be a great celebration for them, and a tip to the hat to them and how hard they worked over 100 years.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always an honor to be able to see one of these Prevosts, especially an Emerald luxury coach. So, John, really appreciate your time, sir.
Appreciate you.
My pleasure. We also greatly appreciate all of you subscribing and liking these videos. We hope you're all having a great day. Thanks again.